Good morning, all of you. L- Today we teach about providing security. When multiple users are ascending the same computer system, the operating system must provide some level of isolation between the user so that one user cannot disturb the work of another use at the same time. With the heavy use of computer networks and the internet it is also possible to access and use a computer system remotely possible from thousands of kilometers away. While this facility is a bond for organization having multiple offices around the world or for employees like salespersons and managers who have to travel a lot and still need to access their office computer. It can also be measured for gaining unauthorized access to someone's computer. Modern operating system provides some basic mechanism to protect against such hazard through they may not be sufficient by themselves. Next, providing other common services. Apart from these functionalities, operating system also provide many services to make the operation of the computer system easier. Many of these services remain hidden from the user because they are used by the other programs in the computer and not by the human user directly. This includes a utility to explore the information stored on the computer, a basic text editor, a calculator, programs to view and edit image, programs to play audio and video, a web browser for surfing the internet, etc. All operating systems except for the embedded system must also provide at least one shell program to allow the user to interact with the computer system. Through these are not essen- essential parts of an operating system. Must operating system come with some such utilities as an added bonus. Some operating systems especially the free ones come with a comprehensive set of software ready for daily use in different uses like homes, educational in- institutes, and office. Typical components of an operating system. In this section, we briefly discuss the components typically associated with an operating system and the full environment surrounding the operating system. While many of them come bundled with the operating system, some may have to be installed separately from a disk or the internet. They are loaded and unloaded as and when needed by the kernel. The kernel uses them for operating system controlling the hardware. The device drives Hardware is an immensely powerful machine but has no clue as to what to do. This layer also consists of a diverse set of devices requiring potentially different set of instructions to operate. The device tries a small program that contains the instructions necessary for the using this device. The kernel. The kernel is the core components or the operating system. A traditional kernel performs all the key functions of an operating system, detecting new hardware when attached and loading appropriate drivers to access it, accessing and controlling all hardware device resource allocation and management, creating, stopping, and controlling program executions, scheduling program execution, providing CPU, IO, input, output, and memory protection, input, output management, memory management, security, etc. The shell. The shell is the most visible components of an operating system, bundled so much so that most people identify the operating system by the looks of the shell. The shell allows the user to express their wishes to the computer system by providing a user interface. There are two categories of user interface. One, first, command line interface CLI. Second, graphical user interface GUI. The CLI accepts only a low cost, low power text based terminal. It works by repeatedly ex- expecting textual commands from the user and executing them. One need to remember the commands and a certain level of typing skill are needed to operate such a system. In the early days of computing when technology was not as advanced, the CLI was the only option. Later on, the graphical user interface was developed. Next, the file system. The operating system provides a file system interface to secondary storage. A file system chiefly contains two types of objects. Object first files, second directories. A file, the basic unit of secondary data storage on computers. In the GUI environment, the screen contains pictorial elements like a desktop that acts as a background for everything else. Windows, Windows icons, menus, buttons, etc. The later elements belong to a particular window. The windows may hide behind or the windows and repair and can often be moved around or resized, minimized to a small part at the bottom of the screen, maximized to occupy the whole screen, etc. Apart from the keyboard for input, there is a mouse pointer that can be moved around using a mouse or trackpad. There are 1 to 3 buttons that can be clicked and a scroll wheel or scroll are 2. Next, the file system of Linux operating system. The extended file system is case sensitive. For example, capital and small letters are treated to different characters. Each directly each file system has a single root. Linux generally uses some version of the extended file system, though several others are also available and in use. These are quite powerful and feature rich file system. Next, GUI and components of operating system. Everything that comes with the operating system is theoretically changeable except the kernel. The device drives, the cells, the utility program can be changed without changing the operating system. Some free and open source operating systems like Linux provide a number of choices for each of these, and through some proprietary operating systems do not offer a choice in cells or utilities. Such choices are available from a third party vendor as well as the open source community.